The year was 21 to 57, and Jake Morrison had encountered countless oddities in space, but nothing like this. He drifted in the command center of the mining vessel Phoenix, eyes fixed on the enormous object growing on the monitors as they drew closer. It was colossal, larger than any human-made ship, and shrouded in absolute darkness. "What do you make of it, Jake?" asked Lisa Carter from her console. She was the crew's alien tech specialist, her voice laced with both thrill and unease. Lisa had examined every artifact humanity had recovered over the last 50 years, yet this was unprecedented. This was a full-scale ship. "I'm not sure, Lisa, but we'll find out," Jake replied, adjusting their trajectory. The Phoenix crept toward the enigmatic vessel. Jake had been mining the Kuiper Belt asteroids for 15 years, and never had he seen a shadow this vast, drifting in the void. Tony Blake pressed his face against the viewport and exhaled softly. Tony was their top engineer. If anyone could decipher alien tech, it was him. "Boss, that thing's got to be at least 3 kilometers long. Look at those curves and angles. No human could design anything like this." The ship's surface seemed to swallow light rather than reflect it. Strange markings adorned the hull, and sections appeared damaged or intentionally removed. Jake noticed voids where machinery should have been and scorch patterns hinting at battles or accidents. "Maria, what do your sensors show?" Jake called to the chief engineer. Maria Santos had been with them for 2 years and was the sharpest mind Jake had ever worked with. Her instruments detected anomalies invisible to others. "No power signatures." "Jake, nothing whatsoever. This vessel is completely dead. No heat, no electricity, no life." "But Jake, the material composition is unlike anything in our archives. Even the computer can't identify it." Lisa leaned in closer to her monitor, recording everything. "Jake, readings suggest this ship has drifted here for eons, perhaps 50,000 years or more. The damage patterns indicate abandonment rather than destruction in combat." Jake made his call. "Tony, prep your team. We're going inside. Lisa, you're with us. Maria, keep the Phoenix at a safe distance and watch everything. If things go south, get us out. Fast." An hour later, Jake floated through the alien vessel's airlock, Tony and Lisa beside him. Their helmet lights pierced the darkness, revealing corridors not designed for human proportions. Ceilings were higher, doorways broader. Whatever constructed this ship must have been taller than humans. "The air's gone," Tony said, checking readings. "Has been for thousands of years." "But Jake, look at this." He trained his light on walls covered with intricate symbols and illustrations. The artwork was ornate, depicting space journeys and what appeared to be scientific breakthroughs. Lisa was already photographing and measuring. "These symbols are a written language, highly advanced. Jake, the Buang, whoever built this ship, seems to be telling a story through these murals. Look here." She indicated a sequence showing the vessel's construction, its voyage, and then something going awry. They ventured deeper, discovering room after room stripped of equipment or damaged. In what seemed to be the command center, empty spaces where computers once stood and control, panels that had been deliberately destroyed. "Someone didn't want this tech used again," Tony said, inspecting the wrecked panels. "This isn't battle damage, Jake. This is sabotage. They dismantled their own ship." As they ventured further, they discovered living quarters with furniture scaled for beings around 8 feet tall. There were areas for sleeping and spaces resembling kitchens. In one chamber, Lisa uncovered personal belongings left behind during evacuation. "Jake, come see this," Lisa called from a side corridor. She had found what appeared to be a library or data storage section. Most of the machinery was gone, but a few intact devices resembled storage units. Tony scanned the devices with his instruments. "These might still contain information, Lisa. If we can decipher them, we could learn who built this vessel and why it was abandoned." But the greatest revelation awaited in the ship's lower levels. Within the vast engineering sections, they encountered something that froze all three in awe. The propulsion system defied anything they had ever known. Massive rings of unfamiliar metal encircled empty engine bays. "Tony, what are these rings for?" Jake asked. Tony ran every scan he could. "Jake, I think these rings control gravity. The readings suggest the ship could manipulate space itself. To move. That's tech humanity is maybe a century away from understanding." Lisa had found something even more extraordinary in the next chamber. "Jake, Tony, you need to see this." They followed her into a room unlike any other on the ship. It was fully intact, its machinery pristine. Banks of alien computers lined the walls, and at the center stood a massive device pulsing with an inner glow. "This is a weapon system," Tony said softly. "Jake, it's still active. Even after 50,000 years, it works." The weapon was both mesmerizing and terrifying. Resembling a sculpture of crystal and metal, energy coursed through tubes and conduits, causing the air around it to shimmer and bend. "We collect samples and record everything we can safely take," Jake instructed. "But we do not touch that weapon. We don't get near it. I don't want to find out what it does by accident." For 6 hours, they documented and gathered everything portable. When they returned to the Phoenix, they carried enough alien technology to occupy Earth scientists for decades. "Jake, what do we call them?" Lisa asked as they prepared to depart. "The creators of this ship?" Jake gazed at the massive vessel drifting in darkness. "The architects," he said. "They built something extraordinary, then walked away. And now we have to figure out why." As the Phoenix set course for Earth, Jake felt that their discovery would change everything. The ship's logs would later prove that instinct correct. 5 years had passed since Jake and his crew discovered the alien vessel, and Earth had never seen anything like Project Genesis. Dr. Nathan Cross stood in the command center of the orbital station, observing thousands of workers and robots swarming over the colossal alien ship like ants on a fallen tree. The ship Jake had named Prometheus was slowly being revived. Nathan was selected to lead the scientific effort due to his work in advanced physics and unconventional problem-solving. Beside him was Admiral Kate Sullivan, overseeing the military side of the project. Kate was pragmatic, aware that this alien technology could either save humanity or annihilate it. "How many people are working on this project now?" Nathan asked as he watched engineers fitting human-built components into the alien hull. "Over 100,000 across 12 countries, Nathan. Teams operate around the clock in 3 shifts. The Americans are handling the weapon systems. The Russians focused on propulsion. The Chinese handled computer systems, while the Europeans studied the power sources. The alien ship had been relocated to a hidden site beyond Pluto, where humans could work undisturbed by other spacefaring civilizations. Earth had learned it was not alone, and some neighbors were openly hostile. Captain Alex Chen was the first human to successfully interface with the ship's controls. With degrees in engineering and biology, he was uniquely suited to understand how the architects had designed the vessel to respond to living minds. The alien systems were built to align with biological neural patterns, but human brains differed from architect brains. "The connection strengthens daily," Alex reported to Nathan and Kate during their morning briefing. Dr. Helen Price had been enhancing the interface between human neural patterns and the ship's computers. "Yesterday, I powered an entire section just by thinking about it." Dr. Helen Price, a neurobiologist, had devoted her career to merging brain and machine. She developed a biomechanical interface that allowed humans to control complex systems mentally. The interface required surgical implants for the neural connectors, but the results are astonishing, Alex said. "The connection is better than expected," Helen replied, checking readings from his latest session. "Your brain. Patterns are adapting to the alien systems, and the ship is learning to respond to human thought. In a few months, you should control every system on Prometheus." The work was perilous. Ryan Mills, one of their top engineers, suffered an accident when an alien energy conduit overloaded. The blast cost him his right arm, but it led to a major breakthrough in understanding the ship's power flow. Ryan taught us something crucial, Maria Santos explained, now chief engineer for the project. The alien power operates on principles we don't fully grasp, but Ryan figured out human style, regulators that safely control it. The biggest puzzle remained. Why had the architects abandoned such an advanced vessel? Dr. Paul Garcia, a linguist decoding unknown languages, had spent 3 years translating the alien writing throughout the ship. "I think I understand," Paul announced at a project meeting. The architects didn't abandon this ship due to attack. They feared what they created. The weapon on this ship isn't just powerful, Cade, it's too powerful. Paul had decoded enough to reconstruct the story. The architects designed the weapon to defend against an ancient enemy, but tests revealed a horrifying truth. The device didn't just destroy targets, it destabilized space and time itself. The architects realized it could annihilate entire regions of space, Paul continued. So they sabotaged their own ship and dispersed across the galaxy to prevent its use. Admiral Sullivan listened with growing concern, but also resolve. "That may be true, Paul, but we face threats the architects never imagined. Scouts have found at least 3 hostile alien species in the past 2 years. Humanity needs defenses, or we could be wiped out." Nathan understood Kate's urgency, yet Paul's revelation alarmed him. "Kate, this weapon could destroy the universe itself. Are we sure we want to rebuild what terrified its creators?" "We'll be careful," Kate replied. "We'll study it thoroughly before considering use, but we must have options." Work continued aboard Prometheus. Teams replaced damaged alien components with human-built alternatives, restoring original systems carefully. Human additions were simpler, easier to maintain, yet effective. Sam Rodriguez became the navigation specialist, plotting courses using both human charts and alien computers. Karen Lewis trained on weapon systems, mastering alien controls designed for different minds and hands. Ben Parker maintained all hybrid systems, ensuring human and alien tech functioned together. "The ship is becoming something new," Alex reported after a session connected to its systems. "It's neither fully human nor fully alien. It's both. Human additions make it flexible. Alien technology makes it powerful." As the 5th year of reconstruction drew to a close, Prometheus was ready for testing. The hybrid vessel represented the pinnacle of human and alien engineering. Human creativity merged with architect technology to create something neither species could build alone. "We're ready for the first test flight," Alex announced. "All systems are operational and the neural interface works perfectly." "But, Nathan, Kate, you must understand. Once we power that weapon, there may be no turning back. We'll have the power to defend Earth against any threat, but we also risk accidentally annihilating everything we aim to protect." Nathan gazed at the massive ship outside the station windows. In a few days, Alex would take Prometheus on its maiden voyage, and humanity would learn whether they had built their salvation or their doom. Captain Alex Chen stood on Prometheus's bridge, feeling the vessel respond to his thoughts like a living entity. 8 years of reconstruction were complete, and the hybrid ship was ready for its first real trial. The neural interface Dr. Helen Price had developed connected his mind directly to the ship, letting Alex sense every part of Prometheus as if it were his own body. "All systems showing green," Alex reported. "Captain," Navigator Sam Rodriguez replied from his station. Sam had spent 3 years mastering both human star charts and alien navigation displays, giving him unprecedented understanding of space travel. "Weapon systems are fully operational," announced Karen Lewis from Tactical. She had trained longer than anyone else on the alien weapon controls. Her hands moved over the crystalline interfaces with practiced precision, despite them being designed for longer fingers and different neural responses. Engineering Chief Ben Parker monitored the power flow, Captain, the fusion reactors are stable. Alien cores are holding steady. We have more energy than any human ship has ever generated. Gravity drives ready for your command. Alex felt the ship's anticipation through the neural link. Prometheus was eager to fly, to demonstrate its capabilities. The alien systems had slept for 50,000 years, and now a human mind guided them. Take us out, Sam. Let's see what this ship can really do. The gravity drives activated with a crystalline hum. Space bent around Prometheus as it surged forward. Within seconds, they exceeded speeds of any human vessel. Stars blurred as they approached light speed. Alex, this is incredible, Sam called, monitoring navigation. We're not just traveling through space, we're bending it around us. A trip to Alpha Centauri that would take 4 years for our fastest ships could be done in 4 months at this speed. Speed was only part of Prometheus's marvel. Defensive shields could deflect asteroid impacts that would obliterate ordinary ships. The hull could self-repair using alien reconstruction tech. Sensors could detect objects and energy patterns across entire star systems. Captain approaching test range, Sam announced. They had reached a desolate solar system far from Earth, safe for weapon trials. The system had been lifeless for millions of years, orbiting a dying red star. Alex felt tension as they readied the weapon. Dr. Nathan Cross and Admiral Kate Sullivan had debated for months about testing the reality cannon, the crew's nickname for the main weapon. Paul Garcia's translations of architect records confirmed the device's danger was beyond human comprehension. Target acquired, Captain Karen reported, the 3rd planet in the system. A dead rock the size of Mars. No life, no resources, nothing anyone would need. Alex felt the reality cannon charging through the neural link. The weapon drew from the alien cores and space itself in ways human science still could not fully explain. Energy flowed through crystalline conduits, partially in normal space, partially in another dimension. Fire when ready, Karen. The cannon discharged silently. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the planet vanished. Not destroyed, shattered, or vaporized, but erased, as if it had never existed. Empty space replaced its orbit, darker than the surrounding void. Karen, what just happened? Alex asked, stunned. The planet didn't just get destroyed, Karen replied. Our sensors show it was deleted from reality. That region of space is broken. Ben Parker ran diagnostics. Alex, the weapon worked perfectly. Power draw was immense. Alien cores handled it, but energy feedback was extreme. We shouldn't fire this often. As they studied the void, anomalies appeared. Small asteroids drifting nearby disintegrated or vanished. Gravitational effects grew unstable. Sam, plot a course away from here, Alex ordered. We need to return to Earth and report our findings. But their test had drawn attention. As Prometheus prepared to leave, sensors picked up incoming ships. 3 massive vessels dropped out of hyperspace near the system edge, closing in at high speed.